o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. And thank you, Love's Baseball Buddies, Dodger fans. This could be your Little Leaguer. Visit the promotions kiosk at section 110 to sign up today.
Child sign up for Love's Baseball Buddies. You can go to okcdodgers.com and have a chance for your child to take the field alongside the players through a select weekend dates throughout this season. Drew Hutchison will make the start for the Dodgers today as the Dodgers trying to end this series with back-to-back wins and head into the All-Star break with a little bit of momentum. It has been quite some time since the team has won back-to-back games. You have to go back to a 4-game win streak, which ended on June the 18th, and that's where the recent troubles have began. A 5-15 record ever since then. So the Dodgers will again, after that 6-5 come from behind win yesterday, will look to ride that momentum and carry it on into this afternoon here in this Chaparral Energy Family Sunday game. And welcome you inside Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. Alex Reben and Steve Marshall with you here on Your View on Cox, as the Dodgers getting ready to face Round Rock for the final time this year. Today's starting lineups presented by the Air Force Reserves as we take a look at the 1 through 9 for Round Rock. Leading off today will be Drew Robinson. Cliff Pennington moves up to second in the lineup. Scott Heineman third. Willie Calhoun, Carlos Perez, Christian Lopes the heart of the order. Nick Noonan, Juan Centeno, and Hanser Alberto rounds things out.
A couple of those guys have had very good series. Willie Calhoun keeping it going. He's got, I believe, an 18-game hitting streak right now. We saw Heineman have a big game the other night, and Pennington deserving the move up in the lineup as he was able to get on base a couple of times last evening. Had a big base hit in the ball game, came around to score, and drove in 2 runs in that first inning last night for Round Rock.
Robinson leading off this afternoon, batting .262, 4 home runs and 11 RBIs after spending the beginning part of the season with the parent club Texas Rangers. He's batted leadoff all 5 games in this series. Just about ready to get underway here at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. Hutchison's first pitch swung out and missed, and we are officially underway on time at 1:05. 87 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Very light winds in from right today. Humidity at 51%. Robinson swinging a grounder, threw into center field for a base hit. The 3rd straight day he leads off the game with a hit. Now Hutchison giving up the single early on. The defense behind him. Outfield left to right is Andrew Tolles, Henry Ramos, and Kyle Garlick around the infield. Edwin Rios, Breivik Valera, Jake Peter, Connor Joe, and Kyle Farmer behind the plate. Dodgers have had trouble keeping Round Rock off the base paths in the series. Round Rock with at least 11 hits in all 4 games, a total of 48 over the first 4 nights. They're batting .320 in this series. Cliff Pennington batting left. Switch hitter takes the first pitch for a strike. Hutchison retired the leadoff man in 5 of 6 innings his last time out in New Orleans. Gave up 2 hits over 6 scoreless. They were all singles. Throw checking in on Robinson. The Express scored 3 runs in the first last night, 2 runs in the first the night before that. They have scored at least 2 runs between the first and second innings combined in the first 4 games of the series. Pennington with a couple hits last night as well as a key 2-run single early on. Hutchison misses away with a changeup. It's a ball and a strike.
Hitters batting .261 off Hutchison. Comes in with a whip since joining the Dodgers of 1.21. That's very respectable. First appearance in a day game for the Dodgers this year.
Dodgers have not played well under the sun of late. Pennington with a bunt to the left side. Rios will backhand and has no play. A bunt single by Pennington. And again, the Express threatening right away in the first inning. They had 5 singles in the first inning yesterday and a 2 for 2 to start today.
Can't lay the bunt down any better than that. Third baseman playing just a shade behind the bag. You know he had to be looking for it. But Couldn't have done it any better than what Pennington did, and not only got the sacrifice out of it, but also got on base himself.
Puts 2 on for Scott Heineman, batting .500 over his last 9 games. First pitch is taken for a strike down to the zone. Heineman hitting at .301 for the season. 8 homers, 44 RBIs. 2 hits last night. 2 for 4 with a walk and a run scored. As Round Rock finished with 5 runs on 11 hits. Now 2 men on and nobody out in the first. Swung at, popped up, should be an infield fly. It has been signaled. Jake Peter will make the catch a few steps on the outfield grass. Now the infield fly in place. Runners at first and second, or the bases loaded with less than 2 out. As long as an infielder can get under a fly ball or a pop fly ball under reasonable effort. So it technically can be in the outfield, which that one was. And I've seen infield flies called on deeper balls than that as well.
Yeah.
Still 2 on, however. Willie Calhoun up. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Calhoun hitting .294. He enters today on a 14-game hitting streak, a .400 average during that time. Shift on. 3 guys on the pull side of the infield for Calhoun. Robinson at second, Pennington at first. Hutchison misses outside. Calhoun last night 2 for 5 with a run scored. Now you see Rios about a third of the way off the third base line, and the shortstop Valera to the right of second base. This is high inside, and it hit him. I don't even think Calhoun thought it hit him.
I think it must have had him on the jersey, and that technically still is a hit batter. So now the base is loaded with just 1 out, and that'll bring up Perez.
Now, he mentioned how no one had reached third base in Hutchison's last 2 starts, and now the bases are loaded with 1 out, and one has been an all too familiar scene in this series. Carlos Perez batting right. On his rehab assignment, 3 games with Round Rock, 4 for 9. Takes the first pitch down and away. They say he went on the appeal.
All righty. We'll take it.
Now Perez yesterday, 2 extra base hits, a home run and a double, finished with 2 RBIs. Takes the breaking ball down and away. And between Round Rock and Frisco on this current rehab assignment, in which he's recovering from an ankle injury, it's 7 games, 8 for 25, 3 homers. A guy not known really for hitting that many home runs. The good news is if you can get him to hit a ground ball, he's not a good runner, you can find yourself possibly out of the inning. He'll hit one out of play to the right side. Round Rock last night in the exact same spot. 3 of the 4 first batters reach base to load the bases. They ended up scoring 3 runs in the inning. The 5-hole hitter, who was Andy Ibanez, had an RBI single. The ball and 2 strikes to Perez with Lopes on deck. 1-2, grounded foul down the third base line.
You mentioned the runs. They set 6 hitters to the plate on Friday night in the first inning, 8 in the first inning last night. And thus far, the first 3 out of 4 have reached.
This has been the Dodgers' worst inning in terms of run differential, runs allowed versus runs scored. Weak grounder, Hutchison will field. He'll set his feet, throw home, and get a force to throw to first in time. It's a 1-2-3 double play. Well, just a little squibber off the end of the bat, and a good job by Hutchison since that ball had a ton of English on it. Able to field and throw under control, and then Farmer looked up, realized he had to play at first. So the Dodgers able to get out of the inning with this 1-2-3 double play. A huge pitch by Hutchison. It stays scoreless. This is Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. Protected, as I like to say, by Johnny Bench. Built in 1998. And for those who have been in Oklahoma City since it has opened, nobody can believe it has been that long. Connor Joe leading off. Here are the starting lineups presented by the Air Force Reserves. Andrew Tolles, Kyle Garlick also here in the first. Rios Farmer Valera in the middle. Joe swings the first pitch and fouls it off. Angelo Mora, Henry Ramos, Jake Peter finishes out as the Dodgers today face off against round lock left-hander David Hurlbut. Connor Joe took one swing and said, I think I can go without the sunglasses here. Maybe didn't see them all that well. Joe, a couple of hits last night. He reached base 3 times, scored twice. Swings. It's a line drive. That's fair down the right field line, heading all the way to the base of the wall. Joe on his way to second base. He'll be in standing up with a leadoff double. Connor Joe continues his impressive start here at the AAA level. The defense for the Express today, outfield left to right, is Calhoun, Robinson, and Heineman. Newton the start at third today, Pennington at short, Lopes the second baseman, Alberto at first, and at Centeno back behind the plate. Good start to the first inning. Andrew Tolles coming up, and hopefully that single in his last at bat last night can get him going again. Swings, and it's a fly ball into center field. Robinson going back on the move. This ball's gone. Didn't take him long to get going today. Tolles' fourth home run with OKC comes out to straightaway center onto the grass berm, and the Dodgers with an instant 2-0 lead. It's nice for the Dodgers to have the early lead for a change in the series.
Got a good swing on that one. When it left the bat, I thought it was going to be very deep. Maybe the track, maybe off the wall. The outfielder kept retreating on it. It sailed over the fence. A good 410, 415. Good start for the Dodgers.
Well, like many places, the ball will carry better during the day. And I've noticed it's especially out to center. There's a huge difference between day and night, how the ball goes out to center field here. Now, Kyle Garlick, who's having a huge series now up with none on and none out. 8 hits in 3 games for Garlick. Swings and misses for strike one. A 3-hit night for Garlick yesterday. Led all hitters with those 3 hits. They'll put a shift on with Lopes to the left of second. Tapped foul to left. Dodgers today facing off against Round Rock lefty David Hurlbut. It's his 16th appearance and 15th start. 3-5 with a 4.86 ERA. 74 innings, 40 runs allowed on 91 hits, 56 strikeouts, 20 walks. Garlick takes down and in. Hurlbut coming off a win at home against Colorado Springs, in which pitched 5 innings, 4 really good ones and 1 bad one.
Yeah, that innings pitched to hit ratio is, anytime it's about even, you're doing a pretty decent job. But 91 hits and 74 innings, that tells you that he's been gotten to several times, and the Dodgers off to a good start with a double and a home run.
It's the 10th home run he's given up, 3 in his last 2 starts now. Pitches low, ball 4. The Dodgers' patience has increased a bit over the last few innings going back to last night. They had 3 walks in that key 8th inning rally. The first 3 men all able to do something positive against Hurlbut here in the bottom of the first. Remember, the Dodgers had never led in the entire series until that 8th inning rally last night. They take the early 2-0 lead today. And when Rio swings for the first pitch for strike one, boy, the first 4 games of the series, it seemed like if you were to say, well, Team X is going to hit a 2-run homer, Team Y is going to hit into a double play with the bases loaded the way things have gone, you think it'd be the Dodgers hitting into the double play and Round Rock hitting the homer. So things starting to turn finally in the Dodgers' favor. Rios average over 300 at 302. Yesterday, 0 for 3 on a bases-loaded walk during that 8th inning. Hurlbut's pitch down and away. First time he's pitched at this ballpark in his career. Dodgers faced him earlier this season in Round Rock through 4 solid innings as he was piggybacking Giovanni Gallardo that night. As Gallardo was working his way back into Major League shape and has been a decent contributor for the Texas Rangers this year. Strikes out Rios, get him to chase downstairs. It's Hurlbut's first strikeout in the first out of the inning. Kyle Farmer coming up, and last night Farmer putting a jolt into one in the 4th inning, a 2-run homer over the Budweiser deck in left field for his 4th home run of the year. Dodgers have been limited to just 2 home runs in the first 4 games of the series. That was entering today. Of course, Tolles with one here in the first. Fastball from Hurlbut's outside. Kyle Farmer hitting .291, 19 RBIs now. 3 for 13. All of his hits in the series have been for extra bases. Infielders remaining at regular double play depth. Next pitch called for a strike. Dodgers hit into 2 double plays yesterday, 3 the night before that. One looped foul softly towards Dodgers third base coach Luis Matos. Kyle Farmer, like a lot of these players, headed back home for a bit of a break. I think Farmer realizing he needs a new bat. The All-Star break starts as soon as this game ends. The Dodgers will have played 85 games by the time they reach the break. The AAA All-Star game is Wednesday night in Columbus. As the PCL All-Stars take on the International League All-Stars. Play resumes. It'll be these same 2 teams, but in Round Rock. Farmer able to get a piece of one to stay alive. Same thing happened with the Dodgers last year with New Orleans. They ended the break in New Orleans and picked up play at home against the Baby Cakes. Occasionally you'll have those back-to-back series. If it has to happen, at least there's a bit of a break in between. I'm sure there will be some roster movement on both ends. Farmer went upstairs and is able to hit a soft liner into left field for a base hit. Garlick to second.
Looked like it was up in his eyes. Went and got that one, and as you said, put the barrel on it. Didn't exactly sting it, but just enough to get it into the outfield. As you take a look.
Yeah, changeup that just stayed up. And I think you could tell by Hurlbut's kind of body language, he's thinking, how the heck did he do that?
Or why did he even swing it there?
Now, Breivik Valera back in the lineup today. Takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. Did not play yesterday. He was 0 for 4 on Friday. Average at .286. Switch hitter batting right. The first of 3 consecutive switch hitters in this lineup. Little soft looper over the head of Hurlbut as Lopes will field and throw to first. I'm surprised he didn't try and tag Farmer or shovel the ball over to second. I mean, Farmer wasn't even close to second base, and I know Lopes was in on the grass, but I think he still would have had time to flip it back to Pennington.
Had his momentum carrying him more towards first base. Probably thought that Farmer would just run it all out. But as it turned out, moved the runners up to second and third, 2 away.
I mean, Farmer did the right thing to just stop.
Right.
So runners at second and third with 2 out for Mora. Swings and grounds one to third, right to Newton. He'll throw to first. That'll end the inning. But a good start for the Dodgers here in the first inning, thanks to Andrew Tolles. As Tolles going out to center field with his 4th home run of the season. The Dodgers in front 2-0. This is OKC Dodgers baseball on your view on Cox. Don't miss out on the next Pizza Hut all-you-can-eat night. It's Saturday, July the 28th, when the Dodgers host the El Paso Chihuahuas. Pizza Hut all-you-can-eat packages available for groups of 10 or more and include all-you-can-eat food, an OKC Dodgers hat, and a game ticket. Call 405-218-2100 for more information. Christian Lopes leading off the second. First pitch is upstairs. Lopes, Noonan, Centeno coming up as the Express in the first, and the bases loaded, one out, and Hutchison got a 1-2-3 double play. Breaking ball on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Another good job by Kyle Farmer to receive the pitch. Lopes walked 3 times last night. Takes a fastball for strike 2. Now, Round Rock certainly has had a lot of success offensively in the series, batting .320. They have scored 23 runs. 1-2's a little high. In the first 7 meetings between these two teams, Round Rock was held to a .204 average and scored a total of 26 runs.
Other than last night's 9th inning, had the Dodgers pitchers ever been staked to a lead even in this series?
No. Fly ball to right center. Garlick back to his right is there to make the catch.
Yeah, that ball just kept carrying, like you mentioned earlier, how it carries better during the day here. Seemed like an innocent pop-up at first and kept drifting out towards that right center field fence before he was finally able to bring it in.
Brings up Nick Noonan. Had the day off yesterday, 2 for 4 on Friday night. Valera shades the lefty towards the middle. First pitch on the inner part of the plate for a strike.
So important to get ahead of the hitters once you're given that lead, really all the time, but your teammates have staked you to a lead now, and it's up to you to hold on. Good pitch.
Shane Noonan offered at it. The home plate umpire today is Nate Tomlinson. He's joined by Mike Casciopo at first base, Paul Clemens at third base. 0-2. Count to Chase high, strike 3. Strikes him out on 3 pitches for the first strikeout. Hutchison, not a huge strikeout pitcher. But after, with the breaking ball down in the zone, comes up, changes the eye level with a fastball up. And Noonan swings through it for Hutchison's first strikeout. Once Centeno takes the first pitch outside. Centeno hitting .202, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. Did not play yesterday, 0 for 4 Friday. This is high. 2-0 to Centeno, who has split the catching duties with a rehabbing Carlos Perez in the series. Hutchison misses again. With Perez on rehab assignment, it is actually 4 catchers on the roster right now for Round Rock. But only 2 of them have seen action in the series. Both Tony Sanchez and Shaq Mata yet to appear in any capacity. As Round Rock really has not used the bench, they've had pretty much the same starting 9 every game. Maybe a couple of different substitutions as Centeno hits a sharp grounder into center field for a base hit. Now Hutchison got behind at 3-1, and Centeno able to take the hitter-friendly pitch right back up the middle. Continues the inning for Hanser Alberto, who has had a big series here in Oklahoma City. 8 for 16. First pitch slider called for a strike. Alberto yesterday 1 for 4 with a double. The bottom of the order has given Round Rock great production the entire series. Breaking ball grounded right to Rios. He's up with it and throws to first. That'll end the inning. So the Express don't do anything with a 2-out hit by Centeno. The Dodgers get a nice 0 after the early 2-run lead. So they still lead it 2-0. This is OKC Dodgers baseball on your view on Cox. pitch after making a start yesterday, and Alex Verdugo, nursing an injury, will not travel to Columbus either. Henry Ramos leading off the inning in an 0-1 count. First baseman Alberto in, swings and lifts this one. Deep left center field. Going back, Calhoun at the wall. This ball's in the bullpen. It's another early home run.
Eighth home run of the year for Henry Ramos. 8th home run.
Dodgers homer happy early today. Toll's last inning. Ramos this inning. Number 8 for Ramos. Gets his team leading 41st RBI in a 3-0 Dodgers lead.
Puts a good swing on it. Left fielder retreating on it. And that ball again just carried on over the fence. Made it look easy. When you make that good contact like that and roll your wrists over the top, drive the ball a long way.
Now Jake Peter sends a line drive into the gap. This one rolling all the way towards the warning track. Peter on his way to second. He will try for 3. Calhoun with the throw towards third. Not in time, and it's a triple by Peter.
Triple.
2 pitches, a home run and a triple. And the Dodgers a great chance to add to a 3-0 lead. Jake Peter starting to get it going after about a month-long drought. For Peter, his second triple this season.
Dodgers have now hit for the cycle as a team, and there's still nobody out, and we're just in the second inning. 2 homers, triple, double, single. Also had another batter reach on a walk.
6 of the first 9 reaching base against Hurlbut, who the trend with him is he starts really well and then opponents get better against him as the game goes on. Dodgers are seeing it well against Hurlbut early. That includes Joe, who doubled his first time up. Swings and it's a grounder left side. That'll score Peter. Pennington will throw out Joe, but Joe gets the job done. And the Dodgers now with a 4-0 advantage in the second inning.
Infield playing back on the play. They just want to make sure that they get the out, conceding the run. Good job by Peter to take off on contact. Scored easily. Not even a look really at home plate. Try and get him. So Joe gets the RBI.
Base is empty for Tolles, who homered out to center field his first time up. Takes the first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Now, Tolles started this series 0 for 16, but he singled. It was the first hit in that key 8th inning last night, and now homers to start off today.
It's amazing what a come-from-behind victory like last night could do for the future. Too bad we got the All-Star break, because it seems like they're finally breaking out of it, pitching-wise, and also, especially, hitting the baseball.
Tolles with a sharp grounder left side. Diving stop, that's Noonan. Gets up, throws to first, and Tolles just barely beat it. And Alberto kind of gives a glare to Mike Cachopo. It was certainly a bang-bang play.
That was pretty close. He gets the call over at first base. Look to see if we got a replay on that one or not. As you said, bang-bang play over there at first base, but Tolles was able to leg it out. And another batter able to reach.
Man on for Kyle Garlick. Swings over the top of a breaking ball. Garlick walked his first time up. Swings, it's a fly ball and a right towards Heineman. 2 steps back to make the grab. Runner remains on for Edwin Rios. Check on Tolles over at first. Stole his second base of the season last night. Rios struck out his first time up. Swings another breaking ball, briefly squirts by Centeno, but Toll stays.
Rios walked last night in that critical 8th inning when the Dodgers staged their comeback and took the lead and ended up holding on for the victory in the 9th inning.
It's a bases loaded walk in a tough left-on-left matchup with Jeffrey Springs. Another check on Tolles. Rios selected by the fans as the OERB June Player of the Month for the Dodgers. First 500 kids today receiving commemorative posters of Rios winning that award. Takes a pitch outside. 2 runs in each of the first and second innings for the Dodgers today. Up to a 4-0 lead. Playing from behind constantly and ahead in this one. Good breaking ball from Hurlbut. Those are the posters we were talking about. And obviously we'll have them for both July and August as well. So pay attention to the Dodgers social media when the polling starts and the voting starts for the July Player of the Month. It's now 2-2 to Rios. 2 down in the second. Inning started with a home run by Ramos. On the very next pitch, a triple by Peter, scored on a ground out by Joe. Rios in on the hands, fouls it back. Now the throw to Tolles, who's not taking a very large lead. Two. Swinging a fly ball into center. Robinson back, reaches out and makes the catch. Saves a run from scoring as he goes towards the track, stretches out, able to snag it, and that will end the second inning. But the Dodgers with 2 more runs in the early 4-0 lead with RBIs by Ramos and Joe. This is OKC Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. Bring your group out to the ballpark for the next Brahms Friends and Family Group Night. Each member of your group will receive an OKC Dodgers ticket for July the 27th. The Dodgers Anna Brahms combo voucher, and it just starts at $10 per person. Call 405-218-2100 for more information. That's a hot place to sit by one of the light stanchions. Is the first pitch to Drew Robinson, misses high. Top of the order here for Round Rock in an unfamiliar position in this series. Shift on with Rios moving into shallow right. Robinson takes a low strike. He singled his first time up.
Hutchison now working with a 4-0 lead. As much as we talked about it last inning, when you get the lead to throw strikes, stay ahead in the count. Even more so now. Keep the attention of your defenders out there in the field.
Alan Hutchison's last start in New Orleans, he pitched his first 3 innings in a scoreless game, his first 5 innings with just a 1-0 lead behind him. The Dodgers did get 3 in the top of the 6th. This is downstairs. And the Dodgers went on to win that game 4-0. It was Hutchison, Joe Broussard, Pat Venditti, and Brian Schlitter combining on a 3-hit shutout. And it was that game and the game before it in New Orleans. Despite losing 2-1, the Dodgers pitched well. And now Hutchison walks the leadoff man here. Now Robinson on for the second time. Thought that the pitching had really started to figure things out, but had a bit of a setback here against Round Rock so far. Brings up Pennington, who had a bunch single back in the first inning.
Now Rios is going to play inside the bag, right there on the very edge of the infield grass this time. He's not going to let that happen to him a second time.
Pennington takes the first pitch for ball one. Pennington began the year with Cincinnati. Cut from the Reds, sent to AAA Louisville, eventually released and picked up by the Rangers shortly thereafter in May. Takes a breaking ball down and in.
Leadoff hitter aboard. 2, 3, and 4 still scheduled to bat yet this inning unless they are able to turn a double play out there and prevent that cleanup hitter from coming in.
2-0 to Pennington. That's high outside. Oh, Hutchison, a little trouble finding the strike zone here to start the second. Third start now with the team. The 27-year-old who was with the Philadelphia Phillies, a member of their bullpen for the first 2 months of the season. There's strike one. Designated for assignment at the end of May. Outrouted to AAA, but had the ability to elect to become a free agent. Did so and signed by the Dodgers to a minor league deal on June the 12th. Behind Pennington, 3-1. Swinging a grounder. Joe bobbles, and now he'll throw into right field, or throw into left field. They did get the force out at first. Robinson was going to be safe. That was an unnecessary throw by Joe.
E3 throwing errors.
I wasn't even sure at first that he had stepped on first with full possession of the ball, but first base umpire did make the call. Oh, yeah, there he is with the bare hand. Oh, yeah, I mean, Robinson's standing on second base already.
I don't know if maybe he thought he would get him rounding the base.
Possible.
That would be about the only reason that he would have fired down there. Certainly was going to have no chance. And especially since he tagged the base, he would have had to have tagged the runner there at second base. There was it took the force out of play.
If Joe comes up with it cleanly initially, he does have a chance at a double play. But the bobble cost the Dodgers a chance for that. Heineman will foul off the first pitch behind the plate. Now runner at third with one out for Heineman, who popped out on the first.
Not a huge deal, but able to move down to third base now where a sacrifice fly would get him home or any type of ground ball in the infield.
Little flare to Joe. He'll make the catch over at first. A big out by Hutchison, getting a hot hitter and Heineman to pop out for the second time today.
It's kind of a funny looking little hit there where he hit it and it, didn't get maybe 12 feet off the ground. And just running in and casually grabbing it, getting the second out of the inning.
That's still got to deal with a dangerous Willie Calhoun. First pitch called for a strike. Calhoun hit by a pitch, one that barely grazed him back in the first inning. Well, Calhoun, who spent most of the year with OKC last year prior to a trade, really became a fan favorite last year. And the Dodgers, their home opener this year was against Round Rock. So the traditional home, first home game, you announce everyone from each team. Willie Calhoun might have gotten the largest pop out of anybody as a visiting player. Hits a fly ball shallow right. This will play to run as it lands a few feet in front of Garlick. So Robinson able to score, and now it's 4-1 here in the third on Calhoun's 34th RBI.
Be an unearned run after throwing air by Connor Joe.
At the moment, yes. Let's say if Perez also gets a hit, Then it's up to the official score to reconstruct the inning in a situation like that. Now Perez grounding into a big double play his first time up. Takes down and away. It's 2-0. Now leadoff walk that comes around to score. Behind Perez, 2 balls, no strikes. Pulls it foul to the left. Now Round Rock with the loss last night, it snapped a 5-game overall win streak and a 6-game road winning streak. And even with yesterday's loss, they're still 12-4 their last 16 games, playing their best ball this season. And they've done it against 2 good teams the last 2 series. Colorado Springs at home and the Dodgers here in Oklahoma City. It's not like they're beating up on inferior competition. There goes Calhoun, a good jump. Pitch misses high, throw down to second, not going to be in time. And no real chance for Farmer to get him due to the good jump.
Say that one stole it off the pitcher that time. Hutchinson really didn't do a very good job at keeping him close. So sometimes even a perfect throw is not going to be enough to get the runner. That was one of those cases right there.
Swinging a liner into center, another base hit. Calhoun's going to come on home, and now it is bobbled by Ramos. No chance to get Calhoun. Perez heading to second. He'll be in safe. It'll be an RBI single plus a fielding error, the second error of the inning. And after the Dodgers had led 4-0, now Round Rock has cut it in half. Now back-to-back 2-out hits. After it looked like the Dodgers were going to have a chance to protect this comfortable lead that's not so comfortable anymore.
You give anybody a walk and 2 errors in the same inning, it's bound to spell trouble, and that's what it's done so far in this inning for the Dodgers.
Christian Lopes batting right. Called for strike 1. Now Hutchison had 12 scoreless innings as a starter until this inning. A 1 slider called for a strike. Now up to 22 pitches in the inning. Started a walk to Robinson. Pennington grounded out. Went to third on a throwing error on the play. Heineman popped out. Now base hit by Calhoun, stolen base. Another base hit by Perez, who goes to second on an error. Farmer slides to his right to block it. Carlos Perez continues to have a big series. He's now 5 for 11. Loeb starts his swing and able to hold it as the pitch missed high. Two. Came high and inside and hit him. His third inning does not want to end. The second hit batter of the day.
Well, unfortunately, the Dodgers their own worst enemy in this inning. They have but the 1 hit, but 2 errors, a walk, a hit batter, and they're going to talk about it.
Now Bill Seamus heading out to the mound. Now with the way the starting pitching staff and the pitching staff as a whole has struggled. Now 4-0 lead, nice, but two on for Nick Noonan, who struck out his first time up. Swings, hits a grounder through the middle, another base hit. Perez will score. 4 straight to reach, including 3 hits with 2 outs, and now the Dodgers lead cut to 1. Wasting no time, going right back up the middle on the first pitch. The 4th inning of the series with at least 3 runs by Round Rock. Again, 4 straight have reached with 2 outs. Centeno, the 8th man to bat in the inning. Takes the first pitch high. Centeno singled his first time up. Fouls this pitch out of play.
With 2 outs, Calhoun single. Then you had the base hit by Perez, a hit batter, Lopes, and then Noonan with the single. All that with 2 out.
Got a piece, fouled it down, and the inning all starts with a leadoff walk. I've seen, whether it's for the Dodgers or against the Dodgers, so many of these innings start with a walk. Centeno fouls another one back. Next pitch is going to be the 30th of the inning by Hutchison. This is down and in for ball 2.
Really got to get this guy right here. You certainly don't want to put 4 runs on the board in the first 2 innings, take a 4-0 lead, and then give it all right back. See if Hutchinson can't get the job done right here.
He does. Able to strike out Centeno to finally bring a close to the 3rd, but a 2-run rally, or excuse me, a 2-out rally plates 3 runs for the Express. So 3 runs coming on 4 hits here in the 3rd inning. The Dodgers' once 4-0 lead is now 4-3 here at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. This is Dodgers baseball on your view on Cox. Little bag action here as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Dodgers led 4-0. It's now 4-3. Now the bats need to go back to work here against Hurlbut. They've had good success early today. 6 hits in the first 2 innings. Kyle Farmer singled his first time up. Takes ball 1 to start off the inning. .10 weekly hit left side. Pennington circles into his right, quickly fires to first for the first down. First time Hurlbut's retired the leadoff man.
Pennington make a difficult play look easy. Gets the glove down, and as soon as he gets it, not Jeter-esque, but just the same, rights his position, gets a good throw over there early. and got him in plenty of time.
Breivik Valera takes a breaking ball down and in. Grounded out his first time up.
Wow. That's a difficult angle again, as we talked last night when they hit one like that. A right-handed batter hitting one just midway down the third base dugout. None of the Dodgers really over there on that top step. That's usually reserved for a little later in the game.
Swinging a line drive into left field. Calhoun going back, jumps up, and he could not make the catch. Valera on his way to second, throw off line. It looked like it was in and out of the glove of Calhoun.
Double.
Yeah, it actually looked like he had it for a step or two.
It was off his glove, yeah. I don't think it ever got in the webbing of it.
It's kind of off the top, and maybe the white of the ball got lost in the white of the background of the lettering on the Oklahoma banner out there.
Now we'll see if the Dodgers can do something with the double by Valera. Angelo Mora swings through the first pitch.
Fifth extra base hit for the Dodgers. We're just in the bottom of the third inning. Plenty more to come where that came from.
Well, they need more runs as a 4-run lead has been cut to 1. Mora takes low. Mora's only hit of the series was that 2-run single last night. Out of the DH spot today. Dodgers have gotten good production from designated hitters when they've played American League affiliates this year. Swings and grounds one sharply, but Pennington didn't have to go far to get it. They'll throw to first for the second out. Now we saw Round Rock score 3 runs with 2 outs in the top of the inning. And we'll see if the Dodgers can answer with one of their own. Ramos with a home run his last time up, going into the bullpen in left center. His 8th of the season, takes the first pitch at this at bat for a strike. Breaking ball, good for strike 2.
Got to protect the plate now. 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's a big run out there at second base.
And this ball going to get past Centeno as it bounced in front of the plate. Valera an aggressive turn around third, but it'll hold there. Wild pitch putting Valera at third base now. Hurlbut's 6th wild pitch of the season. First in 5 games. Still ahead of Ramos, though. This is low. Now it's 2-2. Fouls one off to stay alive.
Had a packed house last night. Guess an unusual start time at 1 o'clock for the Dodgers today, and not quite as many fans, and therefore not as much noise as we heard, especially towards the end of that game last night after the Dodgers took the lead.
Breaking ball hit in the air to left field. Calhoun coming in, slides. Did he make the catch? No, he trapped it. It'll be a base hit that scores Valera. Calhoun's not making much of an argument. Paul Clemens right on top of it, going out into left field from his position at third base. Calhoun coming in to his right. And it did, yeah. That's a great call.
Short hopped it.
He tried to sell it briefly, but again, once Paul Clemens signaled it was a hit, Calhoun did not exactly put up a fight. So a big 2-out run. It's the second RBI day today by Ramos. The Dodgers now in front 5-3. They've scored in each of their first 3 trips to the plate.
Credit the umpire Clemens too, Alex. He did a good job running out there aggressively, and he could have taken a couple of jog steps out that way, but he tried to get out there to find out exactly what happened, and on the replay we saw it clearly.
Another pitch that gets past Centeno. Ramos is going to be aggressive, go for 3. Here comes the throw. He is out by a wide margin. Unnecessarily trying to go to third when already getting himself in a scoring position with 2 out. So the Dodgers do score a run here in the third, but between the top and bottom of the inning, a few different types of errors. However, the Dodgers still lead it by 2. This is Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. Celebración Cielo Azul returns to Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark July 27th through 30th. The specialty weekend includes post-game fireworks on Friday, July 27th, presented by Supermercados Morelos, and a Chaparral Energy Family Sunday on July the 29th. Find out more and purchase your tickets at CieloAzulOKC.com. Call 405-218-2150. Dodgers back in the lead by 2 as we start the 4th. Hutchison looking to rebound as he has Alberto swinging the first pitch and hit out a play to the right side. It's a lengthy third for Hutchison, 32 pitches, giving up 3 runs, all with 2 outs. Alberto a ground out his first time up.
Little man over there trying to get the baseball, missed catching it on the fly, bounced away from him a couple rows away, and a gentleman nabbed it about 3 rows up, threw it back to the youngster, and he's thrilled.
Breaking ball grounded left side, backhanded by Valera. Quickly sets and throws for the out. Brings up Drew Robinson, who has been on base twice today. First pitch fastball called for a strike. Robinson singled the first, walked and scored to get things started last inning. It's a piece of one. Take a look at the shift here on the lefty Robinson. Or maybe not. No 2s inside.
It's not just the shift, but I mean, he has played way deep, almost in the outfield. He could put down even a poor bunt and still be able to beat it out at first base.
Softly hit to the left side. There's going to be no chance for Valera.
Base hit.
I don't know if he was trying to do that. Probably not, but he beats the shift regardless.
There's a case where if you just play it in the conventional way, that might be a pop-up that the third baseman can get, maybe even the shortstop. That's an extreme shift that you saw there. Of course, remember, he led off last night's game, or I guess it was Friday night's game, with that ringing triple that he pulled down into right field.
Pennington swings for the first pitch. Singled in the first, grounded out in the third. There have been very few easy innings for the Dodgers pitching staff this entire series. Throw over to first, Robinson, and safely.
5 batters in the first, only 4 in the second, had 8 in the third. This is the third batter in the inning here in the top of the 4th.
And Hutchison's still not at a full starter's workload quite yet. Got Pennington to swing down and in. This is just his third start. The Dodgers take a very conservative approach when building guys up, whether it's at the beginning of the season or if you're like Hutchison, who had been working out of the bullpen and now moving into the rotation. Oh, and 2 to Pennington. Swings and misses. Slider down and in, got him for Hutchison's third strikeout.
I don't know that he's hit 90 on the gun here this afternoon. As you take a look there, some good drop on that pitch to get the strikeout. So as you become more of a veteran, even though, as you mentioned, he's just 27 years old, seems like he's been around for a long, long time, have to be more of a crafty pitcher than just a hard thrower.
Hutchison got to the big leagues quickly. Signed out of high school in 2009. He was with Toronto by 2012. That's very quick for a high school pitcher. A guy who is very durable and dependable in his time with Toronto. That's really been kind of the MO throughout his career. Just upper 20s, low 30s in starts year after year.
Dodgers get a little action over their bullpen. As you mentioned, that 72nd pitch on his ledger for the afternoon to this point.
First pitch to Heineman high. And hopefully Hutchison can get the third out a bit more quickly this time. Right-hander Logan Ondrusek, the one throwing at the Dodgers bullpen. Heineman takes a pitch on the outside corner. Good one from Hutchison. There's Ondrusek. Yesterday, the Dodgers didn't have to use much of the bullpen because you had Zach Neal out there for 3 innings and then Schlitter to finish it off in the 9th. Close play at first, but Robinson in safely. And this typically a day where you try and get guys into the game, especially pitchers, because you're going to have a 3-day layoff coming up. Heineman crushes one, deep left field, tolls at the wall. The game is tied. 9th home run of the season, his second of the series. The Dodgers had a 4-run lead, not anymore, and it's a 5-5 game in the 4th.
That was a line shot over the 350 mark there in left center field. Left center not very deep here at the Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark, and that one got out in a hurry.
5 runs with 2 outs the last 2 innings. A 4-run lead by the wayside, which has happened all too often lately when the Dodgers have been able to take early leads. A week ago yesterday, they squandered a 5-0 lead in New Orleans. Big swing and miss by Calhoun. Again, the Dodgers, up until June the 28th, it had one game all year where they had let a 3-run lead slip away. This is now the 3rd time it's happened since then. Yet again, all 5 runs with 2 outs. Game 2 of the series, Round Rock scored 7 runs with 2 outs at a 7-3 win. Now they play Calhoun to pull on the infield with Rios moving across from third base in a shallow right. Starts his swing, hold it as the pitch is down and in.
Got the hips turned, but didn't bring the bat across the plate.
And the Dodgers with that great comeback win last night. They get off to the 4-0 lead today. Swing and a miss for strike 3, but Round Rock is pulled even. The Dodgers just do not have consistent answers for this offense this series. Scott Heineman, the game-tying home run. Let's go to public address announcer Jared Gallagher.
Dodgers fans, let's go down to the first base line. It's time to play Sneaker Scramble.
Hey there, Dodgers fans. It is Kaden, and I am here on the first base line with our contestants for Sneaker Scramble. We have Presley, Easton, Riley, David, Andrew, Landry, and Elaine, and they have to run down and retrieve their other shoe, and the first one who gets to the finish line wins. And if our kids are ready, I think we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go! And they are off, Dodgers fans. They have to find their shoe, put it on, and run to that finish line, and would you look at that? We have our winner. We're going to send him home with a Dodgers t-shirt, and we're going to get you guys right back to the game.
Baseball fans, the Oklahoma City Dodgers and OERB present an all-new Player of the Month poster series. On 4 select nights, 500 posters will be given out to kids ages 12 and under as they exit the ballpark. The posters will showcase an action shot of the Player of the Month, who was chosen through a social media poll.
It is now a 5-5 game as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. And before that break was saying, look, you get the comeback win last night, an early double play ball with the bases loaded, a 4-0 lead after 2 innings, and you think, okay, well, there's been some normalcy restored, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Now, they very well could win this game. It is still tied, but still very disheartening.
Well, they put a run on the board in each of the first 3 innings. Let's see if we can't keep that streak going. If so, then they'll have a lead as we head to the top of the 5th.
Now, certainly we'll be also left wondering what if, as Henry Ramos got too aggressive on the base paths last inning. Cost Jake Peter a chance to drive in another run. Now Peter back at the plate to lead off the 4th. Bounces one towards the middle. Pennington to left is second. Fields and throws to first. Bases empty for Connor Joe, who's 1 for 2 with a double, and RBI, and a run scored.
3 of the last 4 outs have been ground outs to the shortstop. Pennington has handled all of them with relative ease. Let's stay away and try somebody else out.
Now Hurlbut got a lot of run support in his last outing. His offense has picked him up today. Joe hits one into left center. Robinson and Calhoun charging. Robinson dives. It's off his glove. And Joe ends up at second with a double. Now, we certainly talked a lot about Round Rock these last few days with some fortunate hits. Well, the Dodgers, granted, these have not been easy plays to make, but have been about a collective 3 or 4 inches away from having 3 outs instead of 3 hits the last couple innings.
That seemed like it was Calhoun's ball. He broke back on it to begin with. Then I don't know if he felt as though the center fielder, Robinson, was going to take it, but Robinson had a lot longer way to run and unable to get there, and the ball falls in.
Andrew Tolles 2 for 2. The Dodgers with yet another extra base hit. Tolles is homered and singled. Fouls off a breaking ball. We're already up to 10 runs and 17 hits, and not even through 4 innings. Fastball runs inside for ball one.
Big gap out there in left center.
Swings and misses down on strikes for the second out. Second strikeout by Hurlbut. Joe remains at second for Kyle Garlick. Hurlbut trying to keep the Dodgers off the board for the first time today. Swing and a miss through an off-speed pitch for strike one. Garlick has walked and flied out, and 8 hits the last 3 games. Now in a tie game after the Dodgers once led 4-0. Got another changeup and again a swing and a miss. Now we'll see if Hurlbut and Centeno go back to it. Comes the 0-2. Grounded towards third. Snagged by Newton. Throw to first. A little bit wide, but Alberto able to stretch out, keep the foot on the bag. And for the first time today, the Dodgers are held scoreless. Now it's tied up, moving to the 5th inning here at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. This is Dodgers baseball on your view on Cox. Dodgers back at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark July 16th through 19th to take on the New Orleans Baby Cakes. Tickets start at just $9. Purchase your tickets now by calling 405-218-2150 or visit OKCDodgers.com. Logan Ondrusek, the new pitcher. Drew Hutchison, 2 good innings, 2 rough innings. And he's done after 4. Dodgers bullpen's been good of late. And the Dodgers will need him to do that again today. Ondrusek makes his 12th appearance. No record, 3.86 ERA, 16 1/3 innings, 8 runs, 7 earned on 18 hits, 6 walks, 22 strikeouts. Carlos Perez leads off. It's a high fly ball, deep left field. Tolles at the wall. Another home run, and Round Rock now in the lead.
Carlos Perez.
Perez homers for the second straight day. It's the second home run in the last 2 innings. And now it is 6-5 Round Rock.
That one was high and long. He really got a hold of that. I think he's ready to be called up and get him out of our out of our hair, so to speak. So he gives that one a ride going out there.
Just home run on Ondrusek's allowed. Lopes takes a strike. Fly ball left center. Ramos to his right. He's there for the first out. Hutchison goes 4 innings, 5 runs, 8 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. All 5 runs scored with 2 outs. And talking lately with Dodgers development coach Ryan Denick and asking why have things been bad lately, and he said one of the key things is not finishing innings. Newton with a fly ball to right center. Garlick galloping, reaches up and makes a nice catch. Kyle Garlick Great jump going out to deep right center. Stretches to make that grab.
Andrusic not fooling anybody of these first three batters. Long home run. Fly ball was medium distance, but still got a decent piece of it, and that was a screamer. Nice play out there in right field by Garlick.
He's up one. Centeno, who's 1 for 2. Couldn't hold his swing at a pitch down low. Round Rock, they've now scored at least 5 runs in 5 of their last 6 games. Well, it's been, again, a tough 3 weeks for the pitching staff overall, but especially at home. Entering today, the last 10 home games, a 5.38 ERA. Still gave up 5 runs and 11 hits in the win last night. Opponents hitting .318. 2-2 in the dirt. Three-two, one hopper towards Peter off the heel of his glove.
Tough play there.
Base hit.
Gonna rule it a single.
Alberto swings for the first pitch. He's grounded out twice. At least 2 hits in 4 of 5 innings today.
Andrusic 6'8", 215.
Now Alberto hits one out to deep left field. It's another home run. His second of the series. He had hit 1 all year, 2 this inning, 3 the last 2 innings. The wheels falling completely off, and it's 8-5.
Well, again, you know, there's no cheap home runs. If you hit it far enough to get over the fence, you've done your job. But that one was line drive variety, and you can see the young lady out there gathering it in. She just happened to be passing by. And Round Rock pounding the baseball ever since the first 2 innings were scoreless. They put 8 on the board in the last 3 innings.
7 runs with 2 outs. Robinson hits this one well. Deep left field. Tolles with his back at the wall. Jumps, and it's gone. Or did it hit off the top of the fence? No, it hit off the top of the fence. But Robinson heading past third on the way to the plate. Here comes the relay throw from Valera. It's going to be offline. It ends up being a home run anyway, the inside the park variety.
Inside the park home run. Drew Robinson with his 5th.
Hit off the very top of the fence in left center. I couldn't tell. I think that might have hit behind the fence. Especially with the way that Tolles really didn't react a whole lot at first.
It's an interesting angle that it took. Because it almost looked as though it hit the ledge out there. And then bounced back into play, which is unusual upon itself. Two outs, but 3 home runs and a single to account for the 4 runs that the Express have put up in this frame.
Madison Younginer is warming up in the bullpen for the Dodgers.
On Drew Sickle Field, throw to first. It is 6 unanswered runs. Now a 9-1 advantage after a 4-0 lead. 9-5 Round Rock. This is Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. Well, outside of maybe Coors Field, you don't see many games where one team has a 4-run lead and then gets down by 4. That is what has happened here today.
And speaking of Coors Field, 6 home runs. We're only in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, the only hope is the Dodgers can continue the trend at the plate.
You know, Major League Baseball yesterday had 3 different teams score over 15 runs. Maybe we're going to be part of that party.
God, unless it's the Dodgers, I certainly hope not.
Yeah, really.
Rios today is 0 for 2.
After Hurlbut gave up 5 runs in the first 3 innings, probably thought he wasn't going to be around much longer. We're trailing 4-0, and now if he can just finish this inning, he's in line for the victory. Bet he didn't see that coming. But his teammates have responded.
To me, this game takes an entirely different tone if you get the final out of the 3rd inning. Rios hits it in the air to shallow center. Robinson, slowing down, will make the catch. Kyle Farmer's 1 for 2. Take strike 1. One weakly grounded towards Noonan. A few feet from the line, scoops and throws to first.
Dodgers had 6 extra base hits coming into this bottom of the 5th inning and find themselves trailing.
You know, I give Hurlbut a lot of credit. Didn't get off to a good start, but now that his team has given some offense, he has straightened things out and started to shut the Dodgers down.
That's what we talked about earlier is getting a lead for the pitcher and the pitcher going out and shutting the door. And the Dodgers just not able to do that this afternoon so far.
Pitches his first 1-2-3 inning today. Things not going the Dodgers' way after a great start. Round Rock in command at the moment. This is Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. Get all the latest Oklahoma City Dodgers merchandise from the official Oklahoma City Dodgers team store. Stock up on your hats, shirts, jersey today at shopokcdodgers.com. It's your home for all OKC Dodgers gear. Addison Youngener, the new pitcher for the Dodgers. Scott Heineman, a game-tying home run his last time up. Youngener misses low. Logan Ondrusek, who had been pitching very well of late, went 1 inning, gives up 4 runs, a total of 4 hits, including 3 home runs. Youngener's breaking ball called for a strike. Now Youngener's last outing on Thursday, inning in 2/3, 1 run, 1 hit, walk 3, struck out 2. Third game back in Oklahoma City Dodgers uniform. I was with the Giants at the beginning of the year. First 2 months of the season in AAA Sacramento. Got released, picked up by the Dodgers, where he spent last season. Heineman fouls it down. Popped out his first 2 times up, did anything but pop out last time up. 4 home runs in the last 2 innings by the Express. Swings, grounds it towards the middle. It's going to squeak in between Valera and Peter for a base hit. Another multi-hit game for Heineman.
Here's Calhoun with that big shift on once again. That left side of the infield. That's about where the shortstop would normally play on a left-handed hitter, but nobody even close to third base. But they've got all the numbers that back that up, and those numbers say that's the way you should play this guy.
It's now 2-0 to Calhoun. 1 for 2 today with an RBI single and a run scored. Over to first base, Heineman's safe.
Partly cloudy day, flags are limp out there in right center field, but the ball has certainly been traveling today. 4 home runs for the Express, 2 for the Dodgers.
There was Heineman, pitch eyeing outside, throw down to second, swipe tag by Valera is a little bit offline. The Dodgers don't have anyone at third base at first due to the shift. A stolen base for Heineman, his 14th.
He almost could have just made the turn there at second base and easily gotten into third. It's part of the shifting that you probably don't take into account very often. Now a hit batter. Runner was going and trying to steal third to begin with. Pitch hits Calhoun, and now there's 2 aboard with nobody out.
Got him right above the knee. And Calhoun in pain at the moment, understandably so. Athletic trainer Carlos Olivas tending to him.
Second time he's been hit was hit in the first inning. You know it's got to hurt, especially when it does find the area on the leg. The knee, as you said, not much protection back there. He can handle it if it's off the thigh, off the back. Got a little padding back there. That's baseball on bone when it's hitting your knee like that.
He'll be replaced by Hunter Cole.
Hunter Cole will be pinch running for Willie Calhoun.
Calhoun will finish the day 1 for 2. RBI single, hit by a pitch twice. Did walk off on his own power. First pitch to Perez outside. 2 for 3. 2 RBIs, including a solo home run. Now Youngiter really had command issues his first appearance back with OKC when he walked all 3 batters he faced in New Orleans. A bit better last time out, still did give up 3 walks. This is low, it's 3-0.
Nobody throwing yet in the Dodger bullpen.
Well, they might now. Loads him up. Nobody out. And Round Rock got a chance to deliver a knockout blow here. Ilsemus going to walk out towards the mound.
And things pick up the activity in the bullpen now as somebody's going to loosen up and get ready, probably in a bit of a hurried fashion right here. 4 home runs on the afternoon, 3 hit by pitch. And in all, 13 hits now for Round Rock, 9 runs. And right now, bases loaded, still nobody out. Double play would sure be nice here.
Things up Lopes. Flies one into shallow right center. It'll be a base hit. 1 run is in. They'll throw to second. It's an RBI single by Lopes. The hits just keep on coming. It is 10-5.
Well, give the Express credit. Anytime they've been given an opportunity, they have certainly delivered.
And, you know, you get down 4-0. All-star breaks coming up. They could have said, well, let's just take our swings, get out of here. Boy, have they responded. And again, I'm not the amazing Kreskin or anything, but I still think if Round Rock does not have that 2-out rally in the third, that this game does not end up where it is right now. It's 3-0 to Noonan.
Dodgers took a 4-0 lead since then. 10-1 advantage in favor of Round Rock.
Another walk. Younginer yet to retire a batter. That'll bring home a run, and even before the runner had crossed the plate, Bill Hasselman was out of the dugout. Younginer faces 5 batters, 2 hits, 2 walks, a hit batter. He's been charged with 2 runs so far. The bases will stay loaded with nobody out. It's now 11-5. Brian Moran will come in for the Dodgers. We'll let him get loose. Hopefully he can bring some stability to the mound. This is Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. Brian Moran with the Dodgers for a 3rd time this year. He's gone back and forth on the turnpike this season between Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Now Moran, a left-hander here in games with Oklahoma City to make his 9th appearance. 1-1, 5.06 ERA, 10 2/3 innings, 7 runs, 6 earned on 14 hits, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts. Inherits the bases loaded with nobody out.
Dodgers have recorded 15 outs to this point in the ball game, but 19 others have reached base.
Centeno takes the first pitch outside. A lot of ink used on both sides of the scorecard today. Fastball from Moran, called for a strike. First appearance for Moran with OKC since early May. Had spent the last close to 2 months with Tulsa. Second year in the Dodgers organization. 6'3" left-hander. Breaking ball low and outside. With Tulsa, 3.71 ERA over 22 appearances. Had been on a roll, but his last couple times out stumbled a bit. Fastball, it's cut on and missed. Centeno's got a couple hits today. A breaking ball that's down and outside. This to me is kind of reminiscent of 2013. Now things weren't this bad as Centeno fouls one out of play, but the then Red Hawks stumbled in the All-Star break, played poorly at home against New Orleans, a team who was not very good that year. But after the break, everyone it was just a whole different vibe. And that team had a strong finish to the season and went to the playoffs. It's another bases loaded walk. The line keeps moving. Six batters, no outs this inning. 3 walks and a hit batter among it. Alberto batting right. Pitches inside briefly by Farmer, but no one will try and advance. I can only hope that's where this season is headed to. Started out wonderfully And again, it all turned starting on June the 18th. 5-15 since then. That's entering today. Swung out a miss by Alberto. And it's a broken record, but the facts are the facts. Mostly has to do with the pitching staff doing a 180 from the first couple months of the season. But situational hitting has been poor. How about that? Is there anything else you need to know about today?
That is just
Stay safe.
Murphy's Law, as I said yesterday. Right-handed batter, dribbler down the first base line that hits the bag. If it doesn't hit the bag, he's probably going to field it, at least get one out on the play. But instead, an RBI, and the carousel continues to turn.
14-5 after it was 4-0 Dodgers. There's Drew Robinson, who had an inside-the-park home run last time up. The first inside-the-park home run against Oklahoma City in 4 years. The last to do it, Paul Orlando of Omaha. It has not been nearly as long since the last Round Rock inside-the-park home run. Christian Lopes just did it about 3 weeks ago in Las Vegas. Robinson pokes it in the air to right field. Hit deep, but Garlick there for the out. It will score a run on a sac fly. The first man of the inning finally retired. But yet another run scores. The 6-run inning, the highest scoring inning by Dodgers' opponent this year. Everything's about a season high at this point. The 15 runs a season high.
Well, sometimes, and I'm sure you've been through those cases as well, you hate to go to the All-Star break because your team's playing so well and everything's clicking for you, but it's quite the opposite going into the break this year. It's a team that needs a break, clear their heads, come back and play like they were at the beginning part of the season.
Well, they should be getting a couple of guys back off the disabled list who are position players, but team leaders in Donovan Solano and Tim LeCastro, assuming their rehab continues to progress all right in Arizona. And hopefully some fresh blood will get injected in the pitching staff as well. Pennington with a line drive. That's a fair ball. Alberto to third. He'll hold there. So Round Rock is officially 4 for 4 this inning. But there's also been 3 walks, a hit batter, and a sacrifice fly.
About all you can say to that is, wow.
Heineman 2 for 4, the 2-run homer. That'll even up the count at 1-1. Moran misses outside. Well, we'll see how this ends up being in Round Rock when the teams resume play. Round Rock, a team that hasn't played nearly as well at home, haven't hit nearly as well at home. Runner not going to try and score here on a pitch that briefly escapes the batter circle. But at the same time, you know you can hit these guys. That's all they have done this entire series. Even the innings they haven't scored, they've seemingly had 2 men on each inning. Fly ball lifted into deep left center. Looking playable for Tolles. A few feet from the track will make the catch, but it'll score another run. Sacrifice fly by Heineman. He's got 3 RBIs on the day. It's now a 7-run inning.
Cole remains in the game to bat for Willie Calhoun.
Now Hunter Cole, who pinch ran for Willie Calhoun earlier this inning when he was hit by a pitch, will now bat as he becomes the 11th man of the plate this inning. Pops this pitch up, shallow right. Garlick calling for it, will make the catch. This inning comes to an end after Round Rock scores 7 runs. They've taken a commanding 16-5 lead. See what the Dodgers can do to respond. This is Dodgers baseball presented by our Here on Your View on Cox. Celebración Cielo Azul returns to Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark July 27th through the 30th. Specialty weekend includes post-game fireworks on Friday, July 27th, presented by Supermercados Morelos. Also a Chaparral Energy Family Sunday on July 29th. Find out more and purchase your tickets at Cielo Azul OKC or call 405-218-2150. Angelo Mora 0 for 2 on the day. Taylor Scott, right-hander, warming up.
Joe Broussard is warming up for the Dodgers.
You know, even after the Dodgers jumped out to that 4-0 lead, the Express answered with 3 to make it 4-3, but the Dodgers came back, got a run in the bottom of the 3rd to make it 5-3. You figure, well, they righted the ship and we can go on and play this a close game the rest of the way. But the Express with 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, and 7 in the 6th.
Mora with a line drive at his center for his first hit today. I mean, you put up 5 runs and 9 hits in the first 5 innings. Not only is it good enough to lead the game, the last thing you would think is being down 11. Now Henry Ramos with another line drive into right field. Moore will stop at second, so back-to-back hits by Moore and Ramos. Ramos now a 3 for 3 day. And Ramos going opposite way. 2 men on for Jake Peter.
21 runs, 27 hits. We're in the bottom of the 6th and nobody out.
Peter bounces a breaking ball foul. He's 1 for 2 with a triple and a run scored.
And one of the great things about baseball is you can't go into a 4-corner stall or run the clock out or things like that. You got to get the outs. You got to finish the ball game. And until that last man is retired, you always have a chance no matter how far behind you are. Kind of sound like Sally Sunshine there, but that's just the facts of the way the game is. Sally or Susie, I can't remember which one of the Sunshine Sisters said that.
I was never read that book as a child. One fastball swung out and missed. Hurlbut strikes out Peter. That's his third strikeout today. And looks like it'll do it for Hurlbut. Now David Hurlbut, at the very least, is going to be charged with 5 runs and 11 hits. But the odds of him being the winning pitcher today are pretty good. Now we'll step aside for the pitching change here. Round Rock putting a damper on the Dodgers All-Star break plans. This is OKC Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. Round Rock goes to the bullpen. Taylor Scott, the first man out. They'll inherit 2 men on with 1 out in the 6th in a comfortable 16-5 lead. It's not too often as a reliever you get to enter in a game with 11 runs behind you. For Scott, it's his 29th appearance. Facing Connor Joe, who's got a couple of doubles today. Swings and misses the next pitch. A double in the 1st and 4th for Joe, has also had an RBI ground out. What a season it has been for him so far. A huge surprise in his first year in the organization. The organizational leader in on-base percentage entering today. 2nd in slugging percentage. An OPS, on-base plus slugging, of nearly 1,000. He will hold his swing and a pitch low. And the Dodgers entered today a game and a half out of first. First place Colorado Springs in a 2-2 tie in the 3rd inning. They're at home against New Orleans. All you can hope for at this point is some help from the Baby Cakes. Joe swings and misses and strikes out. Scott strikes out the first man he faces, 2 away for Andrew Toles. Toles is homered and singled today. Out the Dodgers on the board instantly in the 1st. 2-run homer out to center. Swing and a miss, but it gets by Centeno. The runners will advance. Like they might have been crossed up as Centeno going out to straighten things out.
Well, Toles can keep it going. Hopefully you can stretch it out and get to your 3, 4, and 5 hitters in this inning.
Now Toles back in the 1st inning, going out to center field. His 4th home run of the season. It's at a good 10-15 feet up the grass berm.
They led 2-0 after the 1st. Got a home run in the 2nd from Ramos. You thought this is going to be a good day. Got off to a good start. But the wheels have come off since then. Trying to get some of that momentum back in the Dodger clubhouse.
Swing and a miss through a breaking ball. One-two. Swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt. Centeno briefly lost it. Throws to first, though, in time for the out. Now the Dodgers able to put runners at second and third, but end up with nothing here in the sixth. It has been a long day at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. Round Rock in command. This is Dodgers baseball on your view on Cox. Bring your group out to the ballpark with the next Brahms Friends and Family Group Night. Each member of your group will receive a Dodgers ticket for July 27th, an Oklahoma City Dodgers hat, and a Brahms combo voucher, all starting at just $10 per person. Call 405-218-2100 for more information. Joe Broussard will look to turn things around on the mound for the Dodgers. 16 runs, 16 hits, no errors for Round Rock. 5 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers. A game the Dodgers led 4-0 after 2 innings. 16 runs coming in the last 4 innings. First pitch to Carlos Perez, called for a strike. Round Rock had 7 runs in the 6th, but only 4 hits, and none of them were home runs. Perez hits one deep down the left field line, but foul. The totals first on Madison Younginer did not record an out. It's charged with 5 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and a hit batter. For Brian Moran, 1 inning pitched. 2 runs, 2 hits, and a walk, no strikeouts. So Dodgers bullpen, which had a sub-2 ERA this month entering today. Perez hits another one deep down the left field line. It goes just foul. Today the bullpen, in just 2 innings of work, has given up 11 runs. A total of 8 hits and 3 walks. Grounded foul by Perez. There have been a lot of games played at this ballpark, which opened in 1998. Barring some cancellations here and there, it's about 70 games per season. Here at home, 1-2 foul back. So I don't have the exact number, but you know it's a really big one. This is just the 6th time ever an opponent has scored at least 16 runs at this ballpark. Broussard misses down with a breaking ball.
Still got to get 9 outs, too.
He hasn't pitched since Wednesday. Gave up an unearned run on 2 hits with a walk and no strikeouts. That'll be called for strike 3 to start off the 7th inning. Now, at this point, your hopes are, hey, for the pitching staff, you finished the game with 3 zeros. It's a small victory. Maybe the offense gets a few runs, gets some energy back in the dugout. At this point, that's, I think, a reasonable ask. Christian Lopes will bang a single into left field. 17th hit of the day. Now the Express have had at least one hit each inning. Now they've had at least 2 hits in 6 of 7 innings.
They're hitting home runs. They're hitting soft floaters into the outfield. They're finding the holes between short and third, second and first, bunt singles, hit by pitch, walks. But the only thing we haven't seen is catcher's interference. Whenever they throw that question at you on all the different ways you can reach first base. I think we've covered most of those today.
Don't believe there's been a drop third strike either. A 1 outside to Centeno. Elsewhere in the PCL, most of the games being played this afternoon. There are some that'll be played at night, and that's unfortunate for those teams. When you get such a little time off, to have a chance for a lot of these guys to get back to their families, enjoy the All-Star break, and for them, unless they're in driving distance from, say, wherever they are, and that's if they're playing a home game, really won't be able to do that till tomorrow. Centeno fouls one out of play. El Paso's got a 4-3 lead in Salt Lake, so El Paso and Salt Lake entered that series tied up atop the Pacific Southern Division. El Paso has won all 4 games so far. They have a chance for a 5-game sweep and to take a 5-game lead into the break. As disappointing as this series has been, I would think that's even worse for Salt Lake. A potential of a 5-game sweep at home against the team who's your closest competitor for first place in the division. Breaking ball grounded right side. Joe up with it over to second for 1. Throw to first in time, and the 3-6-1 double play concludes the top of the 7th inning. It's time to stretch and sing Oklahoma. We kick it over to public address announcer Jared Gallagher.
Fans, get on your feet, stretch out those muscles, and sing along to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Now let's sing along to our state song, Oklahoma. Leading off for the Dodgers.
Starting off the bottom of the 7th inning, Dodgers again just trying to find a way to end this one on a positive note after dominant middle innings by Round Rock. Kyle Garlick takes the first pitch for a strike. Taylor Scott remaining in the game. Now David Hurlbut should be treating his position players to dinner after the game tonight. 5 1/3 innings, 5 runs, 11 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. They pick him up after he gets down 4-0. And barring the unforeseen, will get the win today. Kyle Garlick is 0 for 2 with a walk. Swings, and it's a line drive into center for a base hit. I mean, it is far from the Dodgers offense no showing today.
"12 hits, couple of home runs, got a triple in there, couple of doubles."
First pitch to Edwin Rios outside.
When I said they had hit for the cycle before the first out in the 3rd inning, you figured that was going to lead to a nice day for the offense, a good day for the team in general. And while they're not done, Round Rock has certainly put things in gear, and they've been scoring and hitting everything, getting hit, walking, adding up to 16 runs.
Rios hits one into left center. Cole on the move. It's just out of his reach. Garlick gonna head on home. Rios trots into second with an RBI double. Another extra base hit for the Dodgers. Seven of them now this afternoon as Rios sends it to the big left center field gap.
Might be in the beginning of one of the greatest comebacks you've ever seen.
Who's that Indians-Mariners game?
Well, you had one the other night that was what the Nationals were trailing 9-0.
It was August the 5th, 2001. The Indians beat the Mariners 15-14. They were down 12-0.
Wow.
Pitch is hit in the air to right. Heineman will be under it. Rios will tag and head on over to third. The throw is close. And Rios in standing up just before the ball got to Newton.
I was a little surprised he tagged and went. And then kind of took for granted that he was going to be safe, and it was a lot closer than I think he thought.
So it was 14-2 after 6 innings. In that game in Cleveland, the Indians scored 3 in the 7th, 4 in the 8th, 5 in the 9th, then won it in the bottom of the 11th inning. And that was against a Mariners team that won well over 100 games. The ball off the glove of Centeno. That'll be a pass ball, and Rios scores. And the base is empty now for Valera.
Yeah, that was during the Mariners' heyday, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said 2001?
2001, when they were 116-46.
Most wins ever in a season?
Next pitch misses down. Oh, it's a walk that puts Valera on.
Was that still the Albert Bell days or Joey Bell, whichever, for the Indians? Trying to remember who else was on that team. Kenny Lofton, maybe.
The Indians were really good that year too.
Yeah,
they won the division 91-71. Albert Bell was not on that team. Jim Thome was, Roberto Alomar, Omar Vizquel, Kenny Lofton, as you mentioned.
Well, they were strong up the middle.
Okay, so it's 2001. Remember, there are two members of that starting rotation who are still pitching today.
For the Indians or the Mariners? For the Mariners?
For the Indians.
Wow. 17 years ago?
Yeah. One is an ageless wonder who pitches for Round Rock's parent club.
Pitches for the Bartolo.
Bartolo Colon. The other one, I was a little bit surprised to see he was active back then. But he made 33 starts that year.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to need more of a clue on that one. That's
the first one I'll go with is a hefty lefty.
Hefty lefty. Huh. I don't know.
Almora flies out to left. The next clue I'll give you is his legal first name is Karsten, but he does not go by Karsten.
17 years. I can't come up with anything.
Karsten Charles Sabathia.
Wow.
Made 33 starts that year and was 17-5 as a 20-year-old.
He's one of those that you thought he was towards the end of his career probably 3 or 4 times, and he's having a pretty good year this year.
Yeah.
Karsten Charles. I did not know that. Learn something new every day.
Ramos is 3 for 3 today. Again, the Dodgers have put up 7 runs in 13 hits, but they trail by 9. You know, sometimes I'll say this, and it might draw some eye rolls. If you're a Taylor Scott, it's not the easiest spot to pitch in. And it's the same on the other side with whoever it may be. It looks like Joe Broussard's going to pitch over again. But this game at the moment just not really competitive. You're a bullpen guy. You want to come in when it's a tie game, 1-run game. Dodgers have scored twice this inning. That pitch bounces in front of the plate, blocked by Centeno. Our next broadcast, by the way, will be on July the 19th. Thursday night, Dodgers face New Orleans. Grounded foul on the full count pitch. For a full broadcast schedule, you can go to OKCDodgers.com. Dodgers will be back home a week from tomorrow. Again, they'll open up with 4 in Round Rock, hopefully with better results.
Checking the notes here. Every batter in this ball game, every starter has a hit so far. That doesn't happen very often.
No.
Looked at it last night after the Dodgers got their victory. I believe 6 of their 8 or 9 hits that they had were all the top 3 hitters in the lineup, with most of the output there.
It's low for ball 4. Ramos on base for the 4th time today. Two men on with 2 out for Jake Peter. Peter today is 1 for 3 with a triple. Left-hander Brandon Mann throwing in the Round Rock bullpen.
Little cloud cover. The breeze is picked up now. Flag's moving. Looks like it's coming in from the south, making it a little more pleasant here this afternoon for those that have attended and stuck around.
Grounder right side, backhanded by Lopes. He'll flip to Pennington to end the inning. Dodgers get a couple of runs here in the 7th to narrow the gap a bit. It's 16-7 Round Rock. This is Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cubs. Yesterday here at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark, before the game got underway, closing ceremonies for the inaugural Oklahoma City Dodgers Rookie League, which began this season in conjunction with Oklahoma City Parks and Rec, as the Dodgers coming in to help make the game more accessible within the community, providing different Dodgers-branded team jerseys and hats. Games played at either Stars and Stripes Park or Wheeler Park. And again, in 2017, turnout was so low for Little League Baseball through Oklahoma City Parks and Rec, they had to cancel the league.
Wow.
And this certainly spiked interest. In talking with Grant Hansen with Parks and Rec yesterday, who oversees the program, said that obviously turnout was really good to begin with, and then halfway through the season, I mean, he said he had to tell so many people no. I mean, that once it got underway, it was really a success. The word got around, and really looking forward to what next year has in store. If you want any more information about Oklahoma City Parks and Rec, you go to okcparks.gov. Now Alberto with a fly ball to left. Tolles leaps. It's out of his range off the wall. Now Alberto will have a double lead off the inning. That's his 3rd hit today. He's not going to want to leave Oklahoma City. 11 for 21 with 11 RBIs in 5 games.
Single, double homer. Just needs the triple for the cycle, and there's a chance he could still get another at-bat this ball game.
Well, we've seen an inside the park home run for Robinson, who's at the plate. Robinson with Couple RBIs. He's scored 3 times, been on base 4 times. Round Rock now up to 19 hits. That's going to be 20. Robinson's 4th hit.
Go back and finish your thought on the Parks and Rec, and there's not a lot of baseball teams that are playing that aren't in a competitive type situation. You see most of the teams, growing up, every grade school, every high school had a team, and you always had enough kids to fill those teams, but a lot of them weren't good enough to play at what we consider now a competitive level, traveling teams and things like that. And talking with Andy Urban with Prep Baseball Oklahoma on the radio show every so often, he just talks and sings the praises of a lot of the high school talent that's being produced in the state of Oklahoma this year and for the next couple of years. The ratio of a population for your state and prospects is really, really good for the state of Oklahoma. A lot of guys going to OU or OSU. We've seen the Moore schools put a lot of high school athletes over in Norman that are playing there now. Kate Horton from Norman North, or Norman High actually, is going to Ole Miss. There's a lot of good young baseball players, but you don't find those, casual baseball players that I guess you could call it, as compared to the competitive leagues where you have got kids that are 7, 8 years old that are playing 80 to 100 games a year. I mean, tournaments every single weekend.
Yeah, when the Dodgers were playing against Omaha a couple weeks ago in Omaha, also at the hotel were, all these youth teams from all over the Midwest. And again, these are young kids. So yeah, it was overran by those teams from Minnesota, from Iowa, from Wisconsin. Bennington takes low ball 4.
Well, and parents now are seeing in a lot of situations where that could be an avenue for them to get some college paid for. And, growing up, my dad wasn't willing to fork out any money for me to get advanced training or go to this camp or that camp and travel and have personal instructors and things like that. You either were pretty good or you weren't. And in this day and age, it has certainly changed, especially in the last decade or so. I had a friend telling me about somebody was out with a radar gun at a 9-year-old baseball game not too long ago, and you just kind of shake your head at things like that.
As you mentioned, a lot of people are just priced out these days, and that was a lot of the reason why Oklahoma City Parks and Rec had to cancel their league. It was a modest registration fee. There's some cost you have to cover, such as umpires and certain basic equipment. But for a lot of families in the city, it was running a little bit high, so fortunately the Dodgers able to step in and subsidize some of those costs to reduce the registration costs and, again, just make the game more accessible.
If you're talking about a basketball team, all you need is a basketball. Baseball, you need gloves, need shoes, need bats, which aren't cheap at all. Football, obviously, goes without saying, all the equipment that they have to use. So it's been a lot easier, and Oklahoma's done a very good job of putting a lot of athletes, as we saw Trey Young go in the lottery this year in the NBA draft, and a lot of kids have advanced on to play D1 basketball.
And you need coaches, too. That's another part of the equation.
Like can remember telling my dad, Dad, I need new spikes to play baseball. He said, you got some tennis shoes? I said, Dad, I can't pitch with tennis shoes on. All the other guys got spikes on.
Could be 2. Over to Peter for 1. The throw to first in time for a double play. It will bring home another run. So the Dodgers get the first 2 outs of the inning. Second one, Broussard has induced. Two bounces right to Valera. Even with a good runner like Heineman, no trouble turning 2. Hunter Cole fouls the pitch out of play behind the plate. Now, earlier we mentioned it was at least just the 6th time at least an opponent has scored at least 16 runs at this ballpark. This is now just the 5th time. They scored at least 17. Cole crushes it but foul. Last occurrence was in 2012. That's when Memphis set the opponent record with 20 runs in a 20-6 win.
Brandon Mann is warming up for the Express.
That 2012 team, my first year here, that was a team that could hit but could not pitch. And there were a lot of games, not like this one, but a lot of games similar to what we've seen this series. Cole with a fly into deep right. Garlick near the track will make the grab to end the inning. Now, Round Rock loaded the bases with nobody out. Broussard ends up giving up a run on the double play ball, but no more. However, Round Rock still in charge. This is Dodgers baseball and your view on Cox. Downtown Columbus, Ohio. Brandon Mann, the new pitcher. First pitch to Connor Joe, misses high. Joe today with a couple of doubles, an RBI, and a run scored. Fouls went off into the seats. Alberto chases. It's out of play. Taylor Scott hitting in 2/3. 2 runs, 2 hits. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Grounded down the line, foul. Yeah, I'm a little surprised Brandon Mann is being used right now. He did appear yesterday, and it had been a long layoff, and I'd get it before the All-Star break, but he's one of their better relievers. And they've got plenty of arms available. Joe to be followed by Tolles and Garlick. Los Angeles Dodgers will play tonight. Rubber match of the Freeway Series. It's in Anaheim. The game will be on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Dodgers will have Alex Wood make the start. And as Steve was talking about Oklahoma prep stars who have had successful baseball careers, pitching for the Angels tonight, Andrew Heaney. Joe taps it to short. Picked by Pennington, throw to first in time.
Heaney was out of Putnam City high school, if I'm not mistaken. It surprises me too, because I'm used to seeing a lot of the guys that play at the 6A, the 5A level, but the number of players that kind of go unnoticed throughout their high school career, and you're surprised when they pop up and you see them playing and doing well at the collegiate level. From the Class A, I mean, the small school baseball in the state of Oklahoma really has produced some very, very good ball players. Dylan Overton, I think he's kind of bounced back and forth between AAA and the major leagues the last couple of years. Not exactly sure what team he's with right now, but remember a kid from Eakley, Oklahoma, way out in western Oklahoma, Mike Moore, was a very good pitcher for the Tigers and the A's back in the 90s and 2000s, I believe. Had a couple of really fine seasons with them, and then of course you go all the way back to guys like Willie Stargell, who played at Earlsboro, Oklahoma, and Johnny Bench at Binger.
Fly ball towards the line. Cole on the move is going to have to play it on a bounce. Tolles will have his third hit today. Dodgers had had 14 hits. Well, Tolles got jammed a bit, but able to send it opposite way.
Looked like his wedge shot as it kind of backed up a little after it hit the grass.
Garlick cuts through the first pitch. If you want to learn more about Class A and Class B baseball, watch the fall state championships. Those are for schools that are not big enough to have football teams. And they typically have them here in the fall in mid-October. And when I say the entire town and community comes out, I mean, it's not an exaggeration.
Not at all. I was amazed when I first moved here and saw the way that they support that, and the small school basketball as well. And I've called a number of those state championship games here at the Brick for those smaller schools.
Grounded is short, backhanded by Pennington. Garlick retired.
And you see schools like Roth, Asher had won, 30 some odd state championships in baseball. They'd win in the spring and they'd win in the fall too, many of those years. And we're talking about schools that have far less than 1,000 students, maybe less than 500 students, where you think it might be pretty hard to really field a decent baseball team. Sure, you might have a star pitcher or star slugger or something like that, but it's not the case. They've got ball players up and down their lineup that can really play and really put on a pretty good show.
I don't know the name of the town, but I know Jordy Mercer fits that description too.
He went to Tologa. And you're right, he's another one of those guys.
0-1 to Rios. Rios today is 1 for 4th, an RBI double.
I have a list I meant to bring today with me just for that purpose. But perhaps we can share that with you next time down the road.
Well, quite honestly, I hope there's not a game which it kind of presents itself, where we kind of veer off into a topic like that.
Yeah. One of those games.
But it is just one game, and if the Dodgers can get some help from New Orleans today, despite the poor 3 weeks leading to the All-Star break, there'll only be a game and a half out of first place. Worst case scenario is 2.5 out.
Mm-hmm. And still, 4th best record in the PCL, behind Memphis, Fresno, and Colorado Springs. Just has been a rough stretch in the season. Said you're a football fan and you go on a 3 or 4 game losing streak, your season's shot.
Full count to Rios. Sends it foul.
And even though detractors will say, well, baseball just plays too many games. Well, they only put 5 teams in the playoffs, 10 total from each league. So that's, less than 30%, or right at 30%, where you talk about the NBA and over 50% of the teams make postseason play. You talk about the NFL, where they have considerably more teams that make postseason play. Even though there's more games played in baseball, those games, in the standings tend to mean a little bit more, since so few teams really do make it to postseason play. So I'll sit and argue for baseball till I'm blue in the face. I end up doing that a lot of times, especially here in a football state like Oklahoma. But it has a great baseball tradition as well.
Well, that's why I like the way things are set up here in the PCL. You have to win your division to get to the playoffs. Now, I will admit there are some negatives to that. Is that if you're, 5 out, in mid-August, it's going to be pretty tough. Now, Rios will have a 2-out RBI single. The score tolls. Rios' second hit RBI of the day. And I will say, when they first introduced the concept at the major league level, the second wild card, I thought it was nuts. I love it now.
Yeah.
Not only the game itself, but the fact it does keep more teams in the race.
I'm not fond of the one and done type situation. That needs to be 2 out of 3, because baseball series are 2 out of 3 in most cases. But yeah, you go back to 68 before they had the wild card, and man, you could win 102 games in a year and not make the postseason.
Well, gosh, look at the last year of before the wild card was introduced. That NL West between the Giants and the Braves back in 1993, where it came down to the final day of the season. Both teams were outstanding. The Braves won. Giants lost. The Braves 104-58. The Giants 103-59.
Wow.
Next pitch is a breaky ball swung out and missed as Mann strikes out Farmer to end the inning. The Dodgers get a run here in the 8th on Edwin Rios' second RBI hit of the day. We'll go to the 9th inning. Round Rock looking to wrap this one up. This is Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. A lot of history here at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark, and a salute to some of the state's best, including, of course, Mickey Mantle. Not only outside the third base entrance, but the ballpark's address on South Mickey Mantle Drive. You saw in the background there at the very end the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame and Museum, which opened up in April in its new location here at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame and Museum is, just a place of great different exhibits. Mike James and his crew do such a great job. It is open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. Now, technically it is free admission. There is a suggested donation at the door. As Ariel Hernandez, the new pitcher, facing Carlos Perez to start this inning. But Again, if you were coming to the ballpark, I suggest coming early one day. Or if you just happen to be in Bricktown and looking for something to do, pop on into the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame and Museum. Perez pops it up. Valera makes the catch. Hernandez retires the first man he faces. Joe Broussard went 2 innings, allowed 1 run and 4 hits, and a walk and a strikeout. Game, the Dodgers led 4-0 after 2 innings. It was still a 5-3 Dodgers lead after 3. But that's when the barrage really started. 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, 7 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th. Kind of the coup de grace on a 3-week stretch that has been rough for the team.
You break the game down into thirds. Right now, Oklahoma City's winning 2 of those 3, but boy, it was that middle 3 when they got outscored 13-0. That has them on the bottom side of a 17-8 score.
You know, we talked about youth baseball earlier, and it's interesting Christian Lopes is up. This is something I've been meaning to talk about, and I was going through some of the old Baseball America prospect handbooks as he just hit another home run. And that'll be Lopes' 9th of the season.
Christian Lopes with his 9th home run of the year.
The Express now with 6 home runs today. (18-8). Why not? But again, it really doesn't have to do that specifically with Lopes, but this is from the 2012 Baseball America Prospect Handbook. I'm going to read you the first sentence of his write-up. A mainstay on the showcase circuit, Lopes emerged early as a potential first-round pick for the 2011 draft, ranking as one of the top 12-year-olds in the nation in 2005. Now, again, I don't bring that up just because of Lopes. It just goes back to our conversation that we were having earlier. The fact that that sentence is even written it's bizarre.
A lot of kids haven't even hit their growth spurt yet. But I also know of kids, as I coached baseball and football and basketball when my son was growing up, there are some 12-year-olds that they have reached their maximum. And I had the biggest, strongest, fastest 12-year-old running back in football, and he grew 1 more inch after he was 12 years old, and that was it. Of course, that was the same year I got accused of recruiting. Turned out his sister was a cheerleader for our team and just happened to decide he wanted to play football one year. I said, okay, you look like you might be able to play. Worked out pretty good.
Well, the old adage is pitching and defense will win you a lot of games, but it's 18 runs and 21 hits allowed and 3 errors committed to tie the team's season high as well.
Well, don't forget about 3 hit batters and 4 walks, too.
Centeno waves through the pitch for strike 3. Second out of the 9th. This is now just the 3rd time in the ballpark's history an opponent has scored at least 18, and just the 7th time anywhere an Oklahoma City opponent entering its PCL era. Started in 1998 and scored at least 18 runs in a game. Alberto with a fly ball to left center. Tolles there to make the catch. That'll end the inning. Well, maybe we'll see a 10-run inning. Dodgers down 18-8. This is Oklahoma City Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. Don't miss out on the next Pizza Hut all-you-can-eat night. It's Saturday, July the 28th when the Dodgers host El Paso. Pizza Hut all-you-can-eat packages available for groups of 10 or more and include all-you-can-eat food, a Dodgers hat, as well as a game ticket. Call 405-218-2100 for more information. So the next one, July 28th, but also August 11th, August 18th, and August 24th. Breivik Valera on the first pitch of the inning, grounds to third for the first out.
Well, the guys can break for a week or so and heal up any small injuries they may have had or get better on some of the more serious injuries they may have had, clear their heads and come back and get ready for the second half of the season.
Angelo Mora 1 for 4. No, it's not too often you lose a game in which you score 8 runs on 15 hits. He'll go down swinging for the second out of the ninth. Dodgers down to their final out. Henry Ramos is yet to be retired, however. 3 hits and a walk. Homered in his first at bat. Couple of singles, walked last time up. One hit in the air to right field. Heineman back will make the catch. And the Dodgers done here in the ninth inning. 18-8. Round Rock from innings 3 through 9. Absolutely dominant. They take 4 of 5 here at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. The Dodgers have lost 10 of 11 at home. They have now lost 15 of 20 heading to the break, as well as 12 of their final 14. We'll be back to rack it up after this moment as the Dodgers again falling 18-8 today. This is Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. Well, the tough one for the Dodgers today, but hopefully better fortunes await when they return home July 16th to the 19th to take on New Orleans. It's a Monday through Thursday, so ending with a $2 Thursday on July the 19th. That'll also be our next broadcast here for Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox. Get your tickets to that series by calling 405-218-1000 or by going to okcdodgers.com. Yeah, the Dodgers are off for the next few days. Hopefully can push the reset button and return back to their winning ways. But this was a rough one, an 18-8 defeat against the Round Rock Express, in which the Express win 4 of 5 here at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. Andrew Toll started off the game with a flash with a 2-run home run, and all was good early, especially after a Henry Ramos home run. But then it all spiraled out of control after that as Round Rock wins this one going away. For my partner Steve Marshall, I'm Alex Friedman, bidding you a good afternoon and good night. Thanks for watching Dodgers baseball on Your View on Cox.